will be starting very soon. There will be some announcements. We have about a minute left before they actually start the pregame announcements, prayer, and national anthem and such. Because we have no good way to capture that audio well, we'll be on break until the end of that. So the timing on the screen is approximate. There's about 40 minutes left on the clock before they officially start. So we'll be starting soon, and make sure that while you have the time, hit the subscribe button down below. And yeah, we'll be back. We are live at Roger Bacon versus Fenwick. This might be the greatest test so far for this Fenwick Falcons team. So, each team is doing extremely well, both sitting at the top of the division. Roger Bacon 7-1 and Fenwick 7-0. And who's that one that Roger Bacon lost to? It's Fenwick. In full 5 sets, Fenwick took that win in what looked to be kind of back and forth. But Fenwick ultimately took it in the 5th set, winning 3-2, winning the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. As now Fenwick takes the field. This, I believe, was one of JV's first days back. And they ended up winning in 2 sets, 25-1 and 27-25. As now the serve will come in from the right from Roger Bacon. Hit up by Schmidt and hits the net. Really kind of sloppily hit out of bounds there, but now, nonetheless, that will get Roger Bacon on the board first. So now serve coming in on the right side. Serve is up. Schmidt, Hensley, and now Grandstaff's making the start. Recovered by Roger Bacon, and they're hitting it in. Tips it on the net to the far side. That's pretty well placed. So I was looking a little bit at the stats here. It looks like the person to look for is Kimmy Neeson, leading the league in digs. As now Fenwick sets up, and the spike by Hafer. Now a 2-1 game in favor of Roger Bacon. As now Barrick comes in for Sova. Now we do have one difference in this team. So we have the JV players back, and another JV member has been promoted to varsity. As Barrick's serve comes in. Reset by Roger Bacon, and now goes a little bit over Grandstaff, not able to recover it. It's Grandstaff or Foley. Now Roger Bacon will take a 3-1 lead. So, with JV coming back, you see Heidi Willenbrink return, as well as Isabel Adkins. Now we do have a new person going up from JV to varsity, and that is Nicole Ketter. As now Hensley sets it up for Grandstaff, tips a little bit, and lands in the perfect spot there between the 2 lines. And actually, they're calling it out on Fenwick. Not exactly sure how it went out, but serve comes in from Roger Bacon nonetheless. Now Hensley setting up for Foley. Foley hits it a little bit too high, and now a very quick and strong lead for Roger Bacon as they now take a 5-1 lead. So serve coming in from Roger Bacon, now hit up by Foley. Now to Hensley. Now Hafer, and that spike is too low for Roger Bacon to recover. And now Fenwick getting back on the board. Subs coming in as Sammy Dietesheimer and Ellie Guggens coming in for Grandstaff and Schmidt. And that will be Sammy Dietesheimer to take the serve. Serve now coming in, now hit up by Roger Bacon, and now the spike comes in, blocked by Guggens, recovered by Hensley, Foley, and now set up for Guggens' tip there. And now Roger Bacon barely recovers and does not recover as it goes out of bounds. Off of 2 hits there, now a 3-5 game. And now Sammy Dietesheimer yet again on the serve. This is likely the greatest test we have so far. So now hit up by Roger Bacon, and now the serve, the kill comes in, but barely lands in bounds, but does so quite cleanly. Now giving them a 6-3 lead. As the ball goes slightly under the stands there, and now it's rolled back over. Serve coming in. Hit up by Dietesheimer. Now to Hensley, and Hafer comes in. And now that was quickly recovered by Roger Bacon. Now hit into Foley. Foley gets it over, but it's brought back by Roger Bacon, and Barrick not quick enough to get back into place. And now a 7-3 game in favor of Roger Bacon. Serve comes in. Barrick hits it up to Hensley. Hensley gets it to Hafer behind her, and that stays in. Now Fenwick gets their 4th point of the night. So now it looks like Maziar to come in. as well as Peyton Diedesheimer. Serve is in, rebounded, and now the serve. And that goes out of bounds now. 7-5, now only a 2-point deficit. Now if we do look back at the scores, it seemed very streaky. As now serve comes in from Maziar. Setup coming in, and that does not quite get over the net. Now another point for Fenwick. Now only a 1-point deficit. Very back and forth and a nice quick pace. Now this last game between these two did go to 5 sets. Fenwick won it in the 5th. Googans hits it up, and that goes out. Now Roger Bacon will not fully lose their lead, but is taken down by a lot. Now as Foley comes in for Maziar, serve comes in. Barrick, Hensley, and now Googans can sit over to the near side. Roger Bacon recovers. Goes in towards Sammy Diedesheimer. Now Foley. And Googans cannot quite get it over. Good block comes in from Roger Bacon. Now a 9-3 game, a 9-6 game. Serve coming in on the far right side. Barrick to Hensley. Now Googans comes in but blocks quickly. Barrick recovers. Now to Hensley. Set up for Sammy Diedesheimer to come out of the back line. And now Fenwick gains possession yet again. Now Silva coming in for Barrick as Barrick gets to the front line. And now Hensley on the serve. Hensley's serve comes in. Picked up by Roger Bacon. And that is a missed spike attempt there. Now 8-9 for Fenwick. Now Hensley yet again on the serve. Serve comes in. Hit up, almost to the basketball hoop. The hit up and out. Now a tie game at 9. This is why this game went 5 sets in the last matchup at Roger Bacon. Now at Fenwick looks to maybe have a similar result. Hensley serve. Recovered by Roger Bacon. Now spike comes in. Blocked by Peyton Diedesheimer, but recovered. Sammy Diedesheimer hits it up. Hensley now sets it up for Silva. Now recovered by Roger Bacon. Tip comes in. Googans to Foley, and that would be a third hit. So now Roger Bacon gets their lead back after losing it to a tie score. Not getting a 1-point lead. Serve on the right side. Serve comes in. Foley does not quite get the angle on it, and it goes straight back to the ground off of the dig. So first set in that first game, 17-25 Bacon, 25-16 Fenwick, 25-16 Fenwick, 16-25 Roger Bacon, and then 19-17 for the win for Fenwick in that previous matchup. As now tip comes in from Roger Bacon. Hensley sets it up for Foley. Foley now for Silva, but does not quite make it over. Now 12-9 in favor of Roger Bacon. Serve coming in on the right side. Foley. Hensley sets it up for Peyton Diedesheimer. Roger Bacon recovers. Now Sammy Diedesheimer and Hensley and Peyton Diedesheimer. Peyton Diedesheimer gets it up immediately to Hensley. Now Silva comes in. That almost hit the antenna, but no, stays in. Roger Bacon should be able to recover this here. And brought quickly to Foley, but she was not in quite the right position, just a little bit this side of it. Hit it up, but could not keep it in play. So now 13-9 in favor of Roger Bacon as the serve comes in. Hit up by Foley. Now to Hensley. Now to Peyton Diedesheimer. Pulling it over, and now Roger Bacon has to recover pretty far into their own territory. Now brought over the head of the player. Now Hensley setting up for Googans. Hit back. Set up. And now the kill comes in, but no. Peyton Diedesheimer gets it back. And now Fenwick back on the board. Now 10-13. Now I think the football practice just ended, so a couple of Fenwick football players come in. So Logan Miller and Hayden Davenport now here in the stands nearby, as now Schmidt takes a serve for the first time of the night. Now Roger Bacon tips in, but blocked by Dietesheimer. Blocked now by Silva and Dietesheimer. Now Roger Bacon recovers, but now tip this time not in the right position. Hensley tried to get in fast, but not fast enough, as now Roger Bacon takes a 14-10 lead. Serve now coming in. Foley. Now Hensley sets it up for Dietesheimer, and that block was on the wrong side of net. Now getting Fenwick. Yeah, another point. Now 14-11 in favor of Roger Bacon. Now as Hafer comes in. So, some subs for Fenwick now as Foley serves it up from the far side. Set up by Roger Bacon, but blocked. Foley now gets it to Hensley. Hensley to Hafer, but that, I think, went out. I think. Yes. Some awkward stuff as far as subs. Okay. Not sure if that was maybe a formality or something there, but now Roger Bacon will serve on the right side. Serve coming in. Foley. Now Hensley sets it up for Grandstaff. And now ball goes up in our direction here. Now serve coming in. Now Grandstaff. Hensley. Now that is Schmidt to come in from the back line. And I think that went out. Kind of slowed down a little bit now as the serve will come in from Roger Bacon on the right. Roger Bacon does have a now 16-11 lead. It's now Foley. Sits over Hensley. Hensley to Hafer, but blocked. Keeps on the net. As now it's brought back Schmidt, Hensley, and the fake spike from Hafer, and the quick little tip there from Silva. Blocked by Hafer. Now Fenwick back up on the board. Now 16-12. With Bear coming in for Silva to serve. Bear just off the edge there. Serve comes in. And that is a ace for Amanda Barrick, the senior. Now at any given point, there will be no more than 2 seniors on the court at the same time. Of the 3 seniors, Silva and Barrick typically sub in and out for each other. As now serve comes in for Barrick. Hit up. Now the attack coming in from Roger Bacon, but stays in bounds. Now 17-13. So now serve on the right side. Serve on the right side. Foley knocks it up. Now Hensley setting up for Barrick to get it from the back line. Now recovered by Bacon. Now recovered by Barrick. Hensley. Now Barrick comes back in, but I'm not sure if that stayed in. No, it did not. Went out on the far side there. And now an 18-13 lead for Roger Bacon. Fenwick needs to make up some ground. As now Schmidt to Hensley. Now Grandstaff, but blocked Schmidt, but no one there to get it from out of bounds. And now Roger Bacon will take a 19-13 lead. Now timeout for Fenwick there first. Ralph Ross and JT Maxwell arrived here on my left. So Roger Bacon and Fenwick both came out quite quick. Just went back and forth. Fenwick not able to take too much of a lead. Mainly just catching up with whatever Roger Bacon did. Now if we go back to the previous scores, 25-17 in favor of Roger Bacon. 25-16 in favor of Fenwick. Same score for set 3. Then set 4, 25-16 in favor of Roger Bacon. And 19-17 in favor of Fenwick for the 5th set. So you're seeing one team get into the mid 10s and the other get into the winning spot at 25. And then that fifth game, that was very close and went past the 15 required for a decider and went 19-17. As now each team takes the court yet again. And now the serve coming from the right. Serve is in. Schmidt gets it back over with that dig. Now set up by Roger Bacon. Now Barrick, Hensley, and Hafer. But does it stay in? No, it doesn't. Roger Bacon now extending their lead to 7. That might be their greatest lead of the night so far, as now Foley recovers, gets it to Hensley. Hafer tips it in, barely recovered by Roger Bacon. Foley, now Hensley, sets up for Grandstaff, and that stays in. Fenwick back on the board. Now Guggens and Sammy Dietsheimer looking to sub in for Schmidt and Grandstaff. And now Sammy Dietsheimer will take the serve. Sammy Dietsheimer's serve comes in, and now Roger Bacon looks to recover, and Foley gets it, and now the spike from Hafer quickly blocked, but hit right back over from the back. Now Foley, Hensley, and now Dietsheimer from the back, but that's a little bit too high. When you're in the back line, you have to aim it a little bit higher just to make sure that you can get the trajectory to get over the net, but sometimes that results in it going a little bit over unless you can jump it a little bit, as now the fake set comes in from Hensley. And Fenwick quickly struck back. Now it's 21-15. Fenwick needs to get a good recovery going as Maziar now comes in for the serve. I did mention Ketter came in from JV. Not sure if she's come in yet. As now it goes out, and they tried to recover it, crashed into the bleachers trying to do so. But now Fenwick has 2 points in a row and looks to start a good drive here as now Maziar's serve comes in. Now Dietsheimer. Maziar and Dietsheimer. Now Guggens and Dietsheimer again as it is quickly tipped back, resetting the count. Block comes in, but put into a territory that no one could get to it. Now 22-16 in favor of Roger Bacon. Now if this ends up a 25-16 game, then this would be on par for the previous game to just have a complete repeat of that. Actually, Fenwick would need to score one more time for that. So Hensley sets it up for Peyton Dietsheimer. As now set comes in from Roger Bacon. Now Sammy Dietsheimer covers Hensley. Now Barrick. Covered and now set up from Roger Bacon. Foley cannot quite get to it. Now 23-16. Now, like I said, a lot of the sets in that first matchup went 25-16 or 25-17, with the exception being set number 5. Now Hensley sets it up for Guggens, and that's not quite recoverable. Maybe it is. Somehow recovered by Roger Bacon far behind the line. As now that goes out there from Peyton Dietsheimer. That had a chance of staying in, but did not quite do so. Now 24-16. As bad as this first set goes, Fenwick's playing well, and this might go 5 sets. As now Foley cannot quite get to it in time, could not quite get the angle, and that is a very quick end to set number 1, and we'll be back with set number 2. We are back with set number 2. And that was a quick win for Roger Bacon. There's a score there, 25-16. But we saw very similar scores the last time these two teams met. The first set of that also going in favor of Roger Bacon, 25-17. This one, 25-16. Now the rest of the sets went 25-16, so this could be a very back and forth game, and so far it's been just about momentum. And Roger Bacon, so far this matchup has had that momentum. As now Fenwick takes the field, or the court, on the left side here. I believe we'll get the serve to start off this second set. Fenwick just making some last-second substitutions and getting their lineup set to start off set number 2. Looks like Foley will serve to start off this second set. Serve comes in. Now bumped up and over the net. Now Hafer gets it to Hensley. Now Hafer comes in and quickly sets it over the net. Now Schmidt to Hensley, and now blocked a little bit on the Hafer kill and knocked out, but stayed in. And now that's a quick 1-0 start for Fenwick. Now, I'm not sure if that was in. No. Serve came in from Foley, but went out of bounds slightly on the far side. Now that'll be 1-1 to start off the second set. Now serve coming in. Schmidt, Hensley, and Foley. Bumped up and set by Roger Bacon. Now Foley hits it high. Hensley recovers and gets it to Grandstaff. Perfect positioning there. Set up. Now blocked by a combination of Silva and Hafer. And that looks to go out of bounds. Maybe. Okay, they're giving it to Roger Bacon. I thought it went out, but I think it maybe hit the line or something. It was a close call. As now the serve comes in. Hit up by Schmidt. Now Grandstaff. Set up for Schmidt yet again. Now set up from Roger Bacon. Goes into a very empty spot there. Well hit there by Roger Bacon, and now that gives him a 3-1 lead for the second time in this match. As now the serve comes in on the right side. Serve comes in. Hit up by Foley. Now to Hensley. Now to Grandstaff. A blocked back, but did that go out? Okay, they're saying that did not, or it was tipped by a Fenwick player, which may have been hit by Grandstaff. They're not quite sure. But nonetheless, Roger Bacon gives the point and the serve. Serve comes in on the right side. Now Schmidt, Hensley. Now Hafer. Blocked back. Foley keeps it in along with Schmidt. Now Grandstaff bumps it over. And now the recovery from Roger Bacon. Tipped over very well there, just to the right of everyone on Fenwick. And then a 5-1 lead for Roger Bacon. Admittedly, a lot of momentum here for Roger Bacon on the start here, as now the serve comes in on the right side. Serve coming in. Schmidt. Hensley. Now Hafer comes in, quickly blocked. Foley, now to Hensley. Now to Silva, but does not make it over the net. Now 6-1 for Roger Bacon. This matchup has shown a liking for going to 5 sets. Has happened once, and Fenwick came out the victor. Now set up by Hensley, and now bumped over by Schmidt, but goes out of bounds. Now 7-1 for Roger Bacon. Now serve on the right side. Fenwick needs to find an answer here. They have made a couple subs here. Now Schmidt hits it up to Foley. Foley now sets it up for Diedesheimer. Covered and tipped back by Silva. Foley, Hensley, Hafer, but that is blocked, but stays on the Roger Bacon side. Now Fenwick back on the board. So now Bear comes in for Sova as the usual rotation goes. Now the serve finally for Fenwick on the left side. Beck has led some great Fenwick runs so far this year. So now Schmidt, hit slightly out of position there. No one able to quite recover it now. Roger Bacon now up by 6 points yet again. Serve comes in on the right side, tips on the net, but Foley gets to it. Hensley now sets it up for Dietesheimer, now hit up by Roger Bacon. Now that barely stayed in on the near left corner. So now a 9-2 lead for Roger Bacon. Serve comes in, Foley, Schmidt, and now Dietesheimer, but goes off the side of her hand, and now a 10-2 lead for Roger Bacon. Now a timeout comes in for Fenwick. Likely one well needed as Roger Bacon got a very quick lead to start off this second set. Not sure exactly what exactly is going on here, but now sounds like some urgency coming in from the Fenwick side. Chance coming in here from the Roger Bacon bench. I'm not sure if I've heard a team do a chant during the timeouts yet, but I'm all for it. Now 15 seconds left on the timeout. Now hopefully Fenwick can start to stage a comeback, now down by 8. They've come up from worse than this, I believe in the Baiting game. They're down by 8 and recovered, and I believe won that set. So now the serve from Roger Bacon coming in on the right side. Foley, now to Hensley, now to Hafer, and now Roger Bacon almost recovered it and got it back over, but tipped on the net, and now 3-10 for Fenwick. And now Sammy Dietesheimer on the serve. Dietesheimer's serve goes into the far side. Bumped up and spikes. Now hit up in the sky, but Hensley gets it to Barrick. Barrick brings it back to Roger Bacon's side. Now the spike coming in, but that goes out. Fenwick finally getting 2 consecutive points for the first time this game. For this set. I'm sorry. And now Sammy Dietesheimer will take the serve. Serve comes in and hits the net and hit multiple times, and now 5-10. Fenwick has found a way to recover. Since the timeout, they've gotten 3 points consecutively as now Sammy Dietesheimer looks to serve yet again. Hit up, and now a good setup from Roger Bacon, but Dietesheimer cannot quite get to Hensley. Hensley just did not turn around fast enough. As now a serve will come in for Roger Bacon on the far right side. Serve comes in. Dietesheimer, now Hensley, now Hafer. Brilliant placement there, gets them back into possession as Maziar comes in for Foley, and Peyton Dietesheimer comes in for Hafer. So now Maziar to serve. Serve comes in. Bumped up, bumped again for the set, and now hit hard, and Sammy Dietesheimer cannot quite slow it down. And admittedly a good play from Roger Bacon there. Played a little bit of the timing there and threw Fenwick off, and overall a good play. Now serve coming in on the right side. Serve comes in, Barrick sets it up for Hensley. Hensley now to Dietesheimer, but spiked a little bit low there. Now 13-6, favor of Roger Bacon, now a 7-point lead. Now serve coming in on the right side. Foley, Hensley, and Peyton Dietesheimer with the touch there. The fake spike touch gets it straight over the line. And now Hensley will serve. Serve comes in. Now the setup from Roger Bacon. Tipped a little bit, but now Dietesheimer gets it to Hensley. Now Guggens comes in, but hit too high. Well set up there. Just how you wanted to see it from Fenwick, just not the right end to it. As now Roger Bacon takes a 7-point lead. Serve comes in. Foley, Hensley. Now Peyton Dietesheimer gets it into perfect positioning here in the back line of Roger Bacon. Now 8-14. Now Schmidt to take the serve. Came in for Sammy Dietesheimer. Schmidt now serving, but does not make it over the net. These kinds of plays that you need to see a little bit, I guess, polished if Fenwick wants to take back this set and not have to try for a reverse sweep. As now the serve comes in for Roger Bacon on the right side. Set up by Foley, now to Schmidt. Now Schmidt gets it to Grandstaff, who bumps it over. Now set up by Roger Bacon, good setup there. Now Foley recovers and it hits the ref. Not sure if that counts for anything, but it counts as out of bounds, I believe. So now serve on the right side for Roger Bacon. Serve comes in. Foley to Hensley to Sova. And now Roger Bacon will barely recover it. Now Hensley sets it up for Peyton Dietesheimer. Now Roger Bacon kind of struggling a little bit to recover these, but Fenwick struggles more to recover that well-placed spike there from Roger Bacon. So now timeout called by Fenwick. They did get a good run on the last timeout that they took, but not enough to make up the lead now. Now a very strong lead for Roger Bacon. Fenwick's made up leads like this before, but we did see the last matchup go to 5, so we could possibly see a reverse sweep from Fenwick, or they could win this set, and all things would be nice. So Fenwick is 7-0, and Roger Bacon 7-1, but that one for Roger Bacon was in that 5-set game to Fenwick, as now 15 seconds remain in the timeout. Merely in other games, these timeouts have not been used to their fullest extent. So I did not even know that the ref had a special little whistle thing. Made a little bit of noise there and alerted them of 15 seconds left. I don't think I've seen that in any other game, usually because they don't let it go the full time. Now, okay, not sure. The ref having a conversation with Foley. Someone adjusted her sleeve a little bit, and now ref was like, what? And then she's like, I'm okay. Now Foley sets it up for Hensley. Hensley now sets it up for Grandstaff. Now picked up well by the back line of Roger Bacon. They thought it was a point. They thought it went out. I don't know what just happened there, but something happened. And I don't know who got a point or anything. I thought Fenwick may have gotten a point over to the right here. But then they thought they got a point, gathered up, and the ball went too high, and now Fenwick, I guess, has their 9th point of the game, of the set. As now Foley will serve. Set up by Roger Bacon. Now Hafer. Now quick spike comes in from Roger Bacon. Now 18-9. So now the serve from the right side. Serve comes in. Grandstaff, Hensley. Now Silva tipped up a little bit, and Roger Bacon will get a traditional recovery. Now Foley does not quite place it how she would like to, and now Roger Bacon gets a 10-point lead. Serve coming on the right side. Grandstaff does not quite place it correctly, hits the ground. They're hitting the side of Schmidt. Now 20-9 in favor of Roger Bacon, as now Dietesheimer comes in for Grandstaff. Serve coming in on the right side. Dietesheimer, Hensley, Hafer, tipped by Roger Bacon on its way out. Now back to just a 10-point lead, but maybe hard to come back from. Now Barrick on the serve in exchange for Matty Silva. Barrick serve goes a little bit too high. Now 21-10 in favor of Roger Bacon. Serve now coming in on the right side. Schmidt goes straight over, but now the return from Roger Bacon goes out on the near side. Now 11-21. Now Sammy Dietesheimer. This serve right here needs to be the one to start the comeback. But good attempt there from Roger Bacon. Now gets them yet another 11-point or 10-point lead. No, 11-point. I was right. Ha! As now the serve comes in on the right side. Serve hit up by Barrick. Now Hensley does the fake set. Tipped in and contact there, but now Dietesheimer, the spike was a little bit too low, and now 23-11 in favor of Roger Bacon. This could go to 5 sets. Goes out, and now Fenwick back up on the board, but they cannot make too many errors now, as Maziar will take the serve. Peyton Dietesheimer comes in for Hafer. Serve coming in. Hit up by Roger Bacon. Now blocked from Hensley. Now only a 10-point lead by Roger Bacon. And Fenwick looks to try to bring back this deficit. Well, they'll need to go on a crazy run to do so. But if anyone can do it, Fenwick can. They're number 1 in the division. As now the spike comes in from Peyton Dietesheimer. Now only a 9-point lead here for Roger Bacon. So Hannah Maziar is the one to start leading this comeback. Now as the serve comes in, and now that is not quite recovered by Roger Bacon. Now 15-23. Maziar yet again on the serve. Tipped up, set up. The spike comes in, blocked by Dietesheimer. Now the other Dietesheimer comes in, and Maziar sets it up for Peyton Dietesheimer. Back and forth between the Dietesheimers and Maziar. And now that's a pretty solid run for Fenwick now. So Fenwick gained a little bit of momentum there. They struggled to string together consecutive points, but now do so. With 40 seconds left in this timeout, presumably coming from Roger Bacon. So set number 1 went 25-16 in favor of Roger Bacon. So hopefully, if this game is destined to go to 5 sets, they'll end up like last time when Fenwick dropped set 1 sets 2 and 3, then 1 set 5. Or Fenwick can just win in 4, that would be great too, but not too likely, but Maziar will hope to make it more likely here as she takes the serve. Maziar's serve is in. Tipped up by Roger Bacon, now set up well. Barrick for Maziar, and now Guggens. Tip comes in, Maziar, now to Dietesheimer. Now set up for Guggens. Tipped a little bit by Roger Bacon, but they keep it alive. And that barely stayed in bounds. Fenwick thought it went out, so they did not quite pursue it as much as they would otherwise. Now 24-16 for Roger Bacon. So now in what could be the final serve of the set, Roger Bacon now takes it on the right side. Serve comes in, Barrick tips it up. Hensley getting in position. Now sets it up for Googans. And now Fenwick back on the board. This will need to be the run that they bring it back. Now 17-24. They'll need to go on a huge run. Now as Hensley will serve. Serve coming in. Set up from Roger Bacon. Now the tip comes in. Hensley, Foley, and now Googans getting it in, but tipped by Roger Bacon, barely kept alive. Now brought all the way over. Now Foley, Hensley, and now Googans trying to take advantage of the positioning of Roger Bacon, but not quite fast enough to do so. Now Googans tips it back up. Sova keeps it alive. Back and forth. As now a traditional set comes in, and that could have maybe gone out of bounds, not quite, but now that will give Roger Bacon the set as they take it 25-17. We'll be back after the break. We are back for set number 3. Roger Bacon has a 2-set lead as we head in here, and each team takes the court. Fenwick now will attempt the reverse sweep. I have no idea if any reverse sweep has been done in recent memory at Fenwick or in the GCL. But nonetheless, that is what Fenwick must do if they want to win this match and get their second win against Roger Bacon. And if that doesn't happen, then you could see a tie at the top of the GCL. So, will Fenwick get the reverse sweep? We'll find out as the serve. It's come in from the right side. Roger Bacon will get it after serving set 1. Fenwick serves set 2. That means Roger Bacon serves set 3 as that now is set up here. Serve comes in. Now Schmidt sets it up for Hensley. Now Dietesheimer getting it over to the near side. Reset by Roger Bacon. Now spike coming in. And now Fenwick kind of fumbles it. And now Roger Bacon will get on the board first to start set number 3. Now serve coming in on the right side. Serve comes in. Low and recovered by Foley. Now Hensley. Now Schmidt from the back line. Recovered by Roger Bacon. And now the spike comes in. Tipped a little bit. Now Foley gets it back over. Now tipped. And Silva cannot quite get control over it as it comes back quickly. Now a 2-0 lead for Roger Bacon. Starting off the third set. Fenwick needs to win this set. They want to even have a chance to get the reverse sweep. Serve comes in. Foley. Now Hensley. And now Hafer gets it over. Admittedly a scary little look there. Now the spike comes in from Roger Bacon, and that goes a little bit high. But they're giving Roger Bacon the point there. Maybe a slight tip from Fenwick there, not quite sure. I thought that was a Fenwick point going out of bounds, but looks not to be the case as now the serve comes in on the right side. Serve coming in. Schmidt now sets it up for Hafer, or for Hensley, who sets it up for Diedersheimer. Now set up from Roger Bacon. That goes off of the face nearly of Silva. And now Roger Bacon takes a quick 4-0 lead. Fenwick getting into position with a sense of urgency now plaguing the field. Tip on the net. Foley gets it up for Hensley. Now spike from Hafer, bobbled by Roger Bacon. And now Fenwick now on the board for the first time. And a set that they need to win to attempt the reverse sweep. Now remember, if we do get to a decider, it's first to 15 instead of 25, just for game length. Now the serve coming in from Amanda Barrick. Now recovered by Roger Bacon. Spike coming in and tipped, but not quite recovered by Fenwick. Amanda Barrick not quite there in time to get it set up into the right spot. Now a 5-1 lead for Roger Bacon as the serve comes in. Foley now to Hensley, now to Hafer. Now recovered by Roger Bacon. Now hit up by Schmidt. Hensley, now Hafer yet again, but recovered. Now Hafer one more time, but that looks to go out. It looked good, but not quite there to get back on the board. Now as the serve comes in from Roger Bacon, but does not make it over the net. So I guess that makes up for the previous play. As now Sammy Diedersheimer will get the serve in exchange for Schmidt going out. Serve now comes in from Diedersheimer. Set up, and now the spike comes in, but blocked by Hafer. Roger Bacon trying to recover. Now Barrick sets it up for Hensley, who tips it over. May have been double-headed from Roger Bacon, not spotted though, as now Hensley sets it up for Hafer. In on the near side. And now 3-6. Fenwick coming back a little bit here. Not allowing as much of a deficit as they did in the previous set. Now Sammy Diedersheimer yet again on the serve. Serve comes in. Hit up by Roger Bacon, and now they attempt the attack. Now Foley, Diedersheimer, now Guggens, but does not make it over the net. Just slightly misplaced there. It's not a high enough place to be hitting it. Not sure if that's on the serve or the spike there for the fault, but Foley, Hensley, now Guggens, but that went out just barely. Roger Bacon getting a couple cheap ones admittedly, but now a 5-point lead for them nonetheless. Serve comes in. Recovered by Diedersheimer. Now Hafer comes in, blocked immediately. They're calling it 4 hits, even though I think it was hit by Roger Bacon, which instantly resets the count, but okay. Now timeout for Fenwick. So Roger Bacon starts it off very quickly. Got a couple maybe slightly cheap ones, but nonetheless pretty solid start from them. Pinnacle need to make up the 6-point deficit and start a lead of their own, which they have not had many so far tonight. Except for, of course, when they won the first set. No, they did not win the first set. So Roger Bacon has won 2 sets, Fenwick none. This is a best of 5 match. JV did win their best of 3, 27-25 in the first set, 25-21 in the second set. Now 15 seconds remaining. Each team using the full minute allowed by the timeout. I bet Fenwick would have liked to save their timeout a little bit, but they needed it. Now Roger Bacon used every second of it. Fenwick used all but about 5 seconds. In other games, for reference, you might see like 30 seconds left on the clock when both teams re-enter. As now the serve comes in from Roger Bacon. Foley tips it back. Now Dietesheimer gets it off the TV there. That now goes out and it's unrecoverable. Now Roger Bacon takes a 10-3 lead. Now serve coming in. Foley. Now Hensley. Now Googans. Blocked back. Hafer snuck in trying to make good on the set there and was taken out of position by. So now the serve coming in for Roger Bacon. Serve comes in, hit up by Barrick. Hensley now for Hafer. Tipped a little bit by Roger Bacon and now in for the 4th point for Fenwick on the night. Now Maziar and Dietesheimer coming in for Foley and Hafer. Now Maziar will take the serve. Had a couple good serves tonight already. Serve comes in. Now the setup from Roger Bacon. Blocked immediately by Googans. Now that stays in just barely. So now a 12-4 lead for Roger Bacon. Fenwick needs to come back. They've allowed 3 since the timeout. And only scored 1, but that goes too high. Now a 7-point lead for Roger Bacon, and Fenwick now back on the board now with Hensley serving and Grandstaff coming in for Barrick, I believe. Now serve coming in. And now Roger Bacon cannot recover that serve. Now Fenwick now with only a 6-point deficit. Hopefully they can make it up and get the reverse sweep started. Hensley now on the serve. Now recovered quite standardly. Not quite standardly as now it's bumped over from the back line. Now Dietesheimer to Hensley and Grandstaff, but goes out of bounds after tipping on the net a little bit. Now 13-6 in favor of Roger Bacon. Now as the serve comes in on the right side. Serve in, hit up by Dietesheimer. Hensley, now Foley, that goes out of bounds and into the stands to Miller. Now 14-6. So serve comes in. Hensley. Now Peyton Dietesheimer now hits in on the near right corner. Now 7-14. Fenwick needs to go on a run. They got a good run midway through the game earlier, but not enough to quite get the win. So now Schmidt will take the serve. Serve coming in. Now hit up, but recovered by Roger Bacon nonetheless. Now bumped over. Could be a chance for Fenwick. Now Schmidt, Hensley, now Dietesheimer. Now starting to get a run going. This is what they need. It's a nice, clean bump set spike. That's what you want to see. Anytime that Roger Bacon has to bump it over from a good serve, that has an opportunity that Fenwick can use to slow it down and get a play started as Schmidt serves it in. But that just barely goes over. As now it's 15-8. Serve a little bit too strong. Serve coming in from Roger Bacon. Now Schmidt, Hensley, and now Grandstaff tips over the net and goes out. Not sure if the net, maybe through how it moved it over further to the side than it normally would have, but now a 16-8 lead for Roger Bacon. Still leaves the division quite uncertain even if Roger Bacon does win. Now Schmidt Hensley, and Grandstaff tipped up by Roger Bacon. Setup comes in. Spike blocked by Dietesheimer. Brilliant block as now Hafer and Maziar look to come in. So now Foley will take the serve. Serve comes in. And that's barely touched by Roger Bacon as it goes out of bounds and also hits the ground too. So now 10 to 16. This is starting to look a little bit more doable as the serve comes in. Hit up. Covered by Roger Bacon now in a prime location. But does that go out? Yes, it does. Now a serve yet again for Fenwick as ball went out on the near side. Now Foley once again to serve. Serve comes in, but hits the net. Now 17 to 11. Fenwick needs to make up their deficit here if they want to get the reverse sweep. Now the serve coming in on the right side. Now Foley to Hensley. Now English in for the first time. Trying to get the kill there, but not quite doing so. Foley tries to stop it, but it goes out. Now an 18 to 11 lead for Roger Bacon. Small Fenwick student section now leaves. Mostly full of football players. Now the serve coming in on the right side. Foley, Hensley, Hafer, tipped a couple times by Roger Bacon, but goes out. Now a 18 to 12 game in favor of Roger Bacon. Now Bear comes in for the serve. She usually has at least one good set of serves per game. At least. And hopefully this will be the one to bring Fenwick back. Hafer tips it. Now Schmidt, Hensley. Now English tips it in. Spike blocked by Hafer. Blocks come in from Hensley and Hafer. Fenwick now scoring their 13th. They have quite a deficit, but Barrick, the senior, the only senior that regularly serves, could be the one to make up this large deficit. Serve comes in. Recovered by Roger Bacon. Now the attack coming in. Now Foley, Hensley. Now Hafer, but recovered, but brought back immediately by English. But coming into English, Hafer and Hensley. And just the fake set is just a little bit too low. Hits the net. Now 19 to 13 in favor of Roger Bacon. Now serve coming in on the right side. Foley up to Hensley. Now English, but could not quite get it over. The block comes in for Roger Bacon. Now 20 to 13. Now serve on the right side. Schmidt, Hensley, and Hafer. Hafer and Hensley combine for the block. Ball goes out. Now Fenwick back on the board. They only have a 6-point deficit. They can make it as now Dietesheimer comes in for English, I believe. Now Dietesheimer on the serve. Serve comes in. Hit up high. Now serve comes in. 3 people block for Fenwick, but that weakens their defense a little bit. A slightly in front of the back line there. And now 21 to 14 in favor of Roger Bacon. That's a 7-point lead. And now Foley cannot quite control it. Hits the front side of her hand. And now a 22 to 14 lead. Reverse sweep still possible, but now more unlikely as now Hensley. So it's set up for Hafer. I think there was a slight touch from Roger Bacon, but now that returns a little bit too high. 23 to 14 for Roger Bacon. Fenwick won the last matchup in 5 sets. And now Roger Bacon tries to end it in 3. Hensley now to Googans. Now tipped by Hafer, but almost kept in bounds by Foley and Barrick, but Barrick not quite there fast enough. Now 24-14. Roger Bacon looking good in this game. Serve comes in, what could be left. Barrick, now to Hensley, now Googans, and that stays in. Fenwick now back on the board. This comeback is still technically possible. As now Maziar will take the serve. Serve comes in. Tips on the net. Good throw, Roger Bacon out of position, but does not quite do so. Set over the net. Maziar. Now Dietesheimer. Recovered easily by Roger Bacon. Now the tip coming in. Dietesheimer. Now Maziar. Now Googans. Hit high for Roger Bacon. Now that was tipped by a Fenwick player, and that's a win for Roger Bacon. So now that will make Roger Bacon 8-1 and Fenwick now 7-1. So Fenwick's unbeaten streak in the division now ended. Screams coming in on the right side. And a good game overall, but Roger Bacon comes out the strong winner here. So yeah, we'll be back on Thursday as Fenwick takes on McNick. We expected this to be quite the challenge as admittedly Roger Bacon has a pretty good record. They were 7-1 coming into this match. A very large Roger Bacon section, and yeah, we're going to end it before it gets too loud.